Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I want to start a new segment. So what we're going to do here is talk about storage units. So you're probably already here because you want to know more about buying storage units at like a storage unit auction. So for those of you that are interested in learning the storage units, welcome. And I plan on having an ongoing segment of things that we purchase. A lot of the times you don't know what you're purchasing. You might have an idea, but the way that things go nowadays, it's a little bit more wishy-washy because they may have taken the pictures a couple months ago if it's an online auction, or they may have recently taken them since they went behind in their payments this time. So, there's a number of circumstances that you need to be aware of when you're going to buy a storage unit. So anyways, today what we're actually going to talk about is what you're going to need if you're interested in purchasing storage units. Because you might think it's simple and, oh, I'm going to buy a storage unit and we're going to look at it and check it out. And you could buy a storage unit that's 10 foot by 30 foot, which is actually pretty massive. There's some that are bigger, but that's one of the biggest units. It's typically available at a regular, newer storage facility. If you've got older storage facilities, some of them use like a basement level to where there was one storage unit that was bigger than a house. Like on the ground floor levels. I am so sorry about this clearing my throat. I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden, oh, I just ate an Oreo. That's what it is. So I still haven't gotten my throat kind of clear after eating that, I guess. Anyways, so if you think it would be awesome to buy a storage unit because you've seen that show, Storage Wars, or whatever other show they might have out about it, it's a lot more complex than what they show you, and it takes time. You might have somebody that you know needs some stuff, and see, there's multiple different circumstances as to why you could be buying a storage unit. You might want to buy it because you need something. Somebody's cutting their grass outside, and I apologize. I'm sitting here in the garage, and you get what you get. But it feels better outside to me than inside. The air conditioner's on, boyfriend's laying down inside, and I'm out here talking about storage units because it's what we do. And I get so many questions all the time that I figure maybe I can just put a video on YouTube and answer some people's questions. So if you have any questions that I don't answer because I'm all over the place, I've never been diagnosed as ADD, but then again, that didn't exist when I was younger, so who knows. My brother was told he's got ADHD and ADD, and then it was ADHD, and who knows. But anyways, that didn't exist when I was a kid. They make all this stuff up and say that people have issues when really they don't. Everybody just learns different and is different. And I'm scattered, and I'm cool with that because it's multitasking. I usually make my way back around to the conversation that I'm having anyway, as long as I can remember to touch on to it. Anyways, so if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below, and I ask that you please like and subscribe because I really want to do something that's going to impact many people in this world, and my true reason for doing YouTube is to make money, not only for myself, but to be able to give money out. My dream has always been to kind of be like Publishers Clearinghouse and just give away money. So that's really my goal. So I need a lot of subscribers and I need a lot of watch time in order for me to actually be able to make money on YouTube. I did have money on YouTube a few years ago. I had an account balance of like 20 bucks and I was super excited. And then they did that whole change back in like 2017 or 18 and took all of our money away. I don't know if it's still banked up in the account. It's hard to tell. It still shows in my lifetime earnings, I think, but I've never made a deposit or, never done a withdrawal or anything like that. But they might have wiped it to zero, so I'm really not sure, but I'm not getting videos with ads yet. So if you could please like and subscribe. I hate to beg, but I'd appreciate it. And hopefully it'll come back around to you one day when I can actually afford to pay people. But if I can get lots and lots of views, like millions of views, I could be making $60,000 a day or more. So I'm down for the cause. I want to help people. I know I've always wanted to have a prosperous life, and I want everybody else to also have a prosperous life that maybe wouldn't have had a shot at that. And I'd want to give money away to people that absolutely need it and truly want it and know that they can do good with it, and not people that don't need it, that already have plenty of money, even though they're saying that they need more, but we already know they're well off. I mean, yeah, it's cool. I'm not doubting. Some people are just lucky and fortunate and blessed, and they've already got that mindset. They've never had toxic input into their system. But anyway, me, I'm coming from what used to be called middle class, but it's probably low class. But anyways, we're working our game up, and me and my boyfriend's net worth is now way better than it ever has been before. It's so awesome. But anyway, so how we started off on our own was through storage units. We have many different ventures, but this is our primary, or this was our primary way of earning income over the past 5 years-ish. So it's been a pretty lucrative income, and we enjoy it very much. So with that said, let's get on to what you're going to need. Alright, so you're going to need to find the storage units. First and foremost, you need to know what the dates are. You need to know how many units are there, because it could say in the ad that there are 1 or 2 units available. It could also say that there's 16 available. I've seen some say that there are 60 plus available. It's a very wide range. It all depends on the location that you're at, how often they have storage auctions, what month of the year it is, because there seems to be certain months where there's more units available. Like this month, July, that we're in, is crazy. There are so many units out there. There were at least 20 out there today that I looked at that didn't even have a bid on them. And these were online units. You can also go to the facilities, and they have live auctions. That used to be the primary source of all of your storage auctions. Nowadays, it's getting to be mostly online. I think there's only one facility here in the area that is not online, if I'm not mistaken, and they still do live auctions. So anyways, prepare yourself. Know when the storage auctions are. Once you know when the storage auctions are, you need to get prepared as to how you're going to do this. Okay, so first you're going to need money. Money is how you're actually going to get the storage unit, and you're going to need not only the money for however many units that you buy at whatever your budget is, but you're also going to need to bring a deposit. Most all facilities require that you put in a $100 deposit. And that $100 is to ensure that you clean out the storage unit, because people are trifling. And this didn't used to exist when we first started this. And now they do. So you've got to bring an extra $100 for each and every single unit that you get, especially if you've never been there before. If you're a regular, I've gotten away a few times where they're just like, give me $100 and you're good. I know that you're going to clean it out. Alright, so you know why they ask for that $100? Because if you don't clean it out, that's their cleaning fee. Now they get paid to repost it, essentially. But the $100 is covering them having to re-advertise that unit again. And because if the unit owner still doesn't claim it, they still can come back and pay their bill. They actually have up until the moment that you actually physically pay for your one unit. That's they've got say you buy the unit online and the auction goes off at noon. and you get up there, you're like, I'll just go when I get off of work or whatever, because you shouldn't be buying storage units at auctions while you're at work, unless you work for yourself, I guess. But anyways, maybe you're one of those people that just surfs the internet while you're at work and you buy storage units while you're at work. Whatever floats your boat. I'm not judging you. This is my job, so it is what it is. We don't work anywhere but home. We have different ventures. We've got about 8 different sources of income, I believe, right now. Maybe more. But anyways. And the storage units is kind of cool because if you've got the space, that's another thing we need to get into. Because you can make money at any time in between all of your other jobs. If you're out there painting or excavating or whatever people ask you to do, because we just do a lot of different things. We're kind of like honeydoers, I guess. But sorry about this light. I don't know if I can change that so much. Oh, it's really bright outside, and I've got the door open, and I love it. So first, know where you're going. Know when the auctions are. Know the dates. Some of them are tricky. When you find them, some of them might say if it's not online, if these are live auctions. So this screwed me up the very first auction that I went to. I went to 8 different facilities because they were all listed in the newspaper as starting at 10 a.m. I don't know why they would do that. So anyway, if it's listed in the newspaper, which is one of the sources that you can find these auctions at, go to the very first facility. The very first facility is the one that starts at the 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. or whenever it's starting. So always start at the very first facility. Or it could get canceled unless, see, there's so many different stipulations here. So if you go to the facility and they happen to have no units, then they might already be at the next facility, because there's sometimes a way to contact the auctioneer, and they might have like a voicemail set up with a little message that'll be like, it'll give you an update. They typically do it in the morning of the auction, so that way you can give them a call and be like, okay, the first one's canceled, I can go ahead to the second one. That's if they're all listed, like the one that I got lost at, where it was saying 10 a.m. for all of them. Now, sometimes it could be listed in the newspaper as the first one starts at 10, the second one starts at noon, the third one starts at probably 3, if not 2. But the auctioneer likes to take like an hour break, typically for lunch, and then 4, and so on. And then there's some that have been scheduled 9:45, 10:15, 11:15, and you're jumping to all of these different facilities. So it all depends on how the auctioneer is and how it's set up. Public storage is typically ran by their internal district management staff and the person that works at that facility. So I think that's the only one that's live here anymore. There might be a couple mom and pops places, but every other facility here in the area that I live in, which is Hampton Roads, they are mostly online now. So it's a little bit easier because you can see when they're ending, and they're up online for like 2 weeks. You don't have to wait for that day if you want to put in your bid, and you can set it at however high you want to put it at. If you know that it's worth $2,000, then you go ahead and put that $2,000 bid in. And it'll start it at the $10 and go up. It's usually $10 minimum for all of these online auctions. And it'll bid up on your behalf up until your max bid. But say somebody comes in and they put in a bid higher than yours, then you're knocked off, and you would have to go back in, and if you felt like it was worth it, you bid higher. If you say, screw it, that was my budget, I'm done, then you're done. So then, after you win the auction, you have to find a way to pick it up. If you're going to a live auction, then I would suggest the doors opening with the wind. If you're going to a live auction, then I would totally suggest that you take your truck and trailer or a vehicle that can carry the stuff. Because if you win something, you might not, but if you win something, then you can take it while you're there if you've got time. Most of the time you've got time because, well, it all depends. because the auctioneer is going to have to take everybody's money at the end of the auction. That usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how many units there were to sell and how many different buyers there were per unit. If every unit got a different purchaser, then it's going to take longer than if one person bought 3 and another person bought the other 5 or whatever. So if you're at a live auction, take your means of transportation with you and load up as much as you can, and that way you can go ahead and get it cleared out, because that's the next thing, is you've got to have a way to carry this stuff. So you don't want to buy a storage unit if there's a whole bunch of huge furniture and you've only got a car. Now, if it's got a bunch of boxes and you've got a car, you can probably do that because you can go and fill up your car. It's not like you've got to go and get it in one shot and then come back, and then you're done. You've got as much time as you need within a 24 to 72 hour period. Typically, it never goes over 72 hours that you have to clear it out. So if you buy it at noon on Friday, then Friday's not a good example, but we'll say Tuesday, then you've got Wednesday, Thursday, and then it's got to be cleaned out by noon Friday. 24 hours, it needs to be cleaned out by noon the next day. They don't care about their closed hours, even if it doesn't matter. This is 24 hours. It needs to be cleaned out by the 24-hour period, 48-hour period, or 72-hour period. It's not typically anything in between, unless it's one of those auctions that has 50 units for sale, and they want to, or they might give you a little bit longer. There's been instances where somebody has purchased 10 units. There was one time I purchased 6 at one storage auction, and they give you extra time for that if you ask. But still hustle to get the stuff out, because it doesn't need to be sitting there, because you got to realize you're losing them money. They've already lost money on the unit because they don't make money from these storage auctions. They take taxes to pay the taxes on what they brought in, but that money actually goes towards the balance. If it clears the balance, then they don't take the extra. The extra actually goes to the owner of the storage unit. So they would send them a check, and they'd be happy probably if they got a good amount of money for it. And they're out some stuff, but they at least got money for the auction, so they're happy. And that would be like an instance where they owe $500. The storage auction went for $1,000. That $500 that's extra is going to go to the people. Because the tax and the buyer's premium is how the storage facility makes the money. So whatever the buyer's premium is, that'll go into their, I don't know what that noise was, but whatever the buyer's premium, that is what the storage facility makes, which usually isn't much. It's like 10% or something like that, 10 to 18%. And if you pay cash, sometimes they give you a discount on that too. But other than that, the extra money goes over to the actual owner of the stuff that you just bought. Now, we've loaded up trailers with storage units, and we've actually had to measure them because we just stack stuff on top. And you're going to need a trailer or a pickup truck for anything big, multiple trips, so you're going to definitely need gas. I've known people to rent U-Hauls. I've known people to eventually go out and buy used U-Hauls and box trucks like that. I've even known people that buy storage units and just they'll rent the unit, and they'll just sell their stuff, I guess, out of that unit, or it gives them at least a month to clear it out, because sometimes they've got those free month things to where you can rent a unit. And it's typically not going to be the same unit that you just bought, so you're going to have to relocate the stuff from the unit that you just bought into another unit. Just trying to let you know all of the little behind-the-scenes stuff that I've learned over the years. It's all helpful knowledge because I had to ask a lot of questions to people, and now you can come to YouTube and find out the answers. How cool is that? So, you need a truck, you need a trailer, you need money, and don't forget that extra $100 deposit. I know they're required at most all facilities nowadays. And if not, then hey, that's cool. At least you came prepared. You're going to need straps to strap the stuff down in your vehicle so it's not shifting. You're going to probably need a tarp because there's going to be some days when it's raining and downpouring and they don't care, or snowing. And it doesn't matter. If you bought the storage unit, unless the facility's closed due to bad weather like a hurricane, or hopefully they didn't get taken out by a tornado, because then I don't know how that works. We've never had that experience, and hopefully we don't ever have that experience. Um, so then once you have it all on your truck and trailer and stuff, then you're going to need to bring it home. And after you get it home, you're going to need to go through everything if you didn't go through everything at the storage facility. We usually don't go through anything at all at the storage facility. We'll see it as we pick it up and be like, hey, look at this. But we just pack it as neatly as possible because you don't want to break the stuff. Even if it looks like trash, it might not end up being trash. You need to do a lot of research. So a computer or a cell phone, which you probably already have because you're watching me on YouTube. So you probably already have that. But you're going to need to do a lot of research on all of the stuff that you get because you're going to want to know what the retail price is. And then you can sell it for 50% off of the retail price, or maybe close to the retail price. It all just depends on what it is and how much is the other person willing to pay. I gotta close this door. There's a wasp. Okay, so it all comes down to what the person is willing to pay and how much you're going to actually make. So, you know when the storage auctions are happening, you know whether they're live or whether they're online. You know that you've got a vehicle, you've got gas, you've got money, you've got your deposit, you have a place to clean it, you know how to throw stuff away. A lot of stuff goes to the dump. Get over it. You wouldn't believe how many people just put trash in a storage unit. If you're one of those cities or counties or whatever that you have to take your stuff to a local dump and you've got to pay to go to the dump. I know Richmond here in Virginia is one of those places, they say, I guess, or at least businesses. Businesses can't throw their stuff away at the dump without paying. It's an extra fee. So if you're one of those, there's storage units all over the place in Richmond, Virginia that are 100% nothing but trash. That's it. Just trash piled up to the ceiling in a huge unit. Like a 10 by 20 unit, 10 by 30 unit. Trash. Nothing but trash. Buyer beware. We've never bought one of those. Actually, we've bought one that was 90% trash. But we made a lot of money off of the stuff that wasn't trash. But we could see those things. It was vending machines. There was 9 vending machines in a storage unit. We honestly thought there was 2. We didn't even know if they were going to fit in the U-Haul that we rented because we happened to rent a U-Haul that day. But we got 9 vending machines out of one storage unit. They all worked. We sold them all. It took time to sell them all. They didn't. It's not like a TV show where somebody's just like, hey, I need that. No, these people have to find you. You've got to find them. It takes a lot of talking and networking and posting. So, and then you're going to have the people that say that they want to buy it. And then you're going to have those people that say that they want to buy it and they never show up. And you're going to have people that are adamant and serious and know what they want and they come and get it right then and there. You'll have people that will say that they're on their way and they won't show up for another 5-6 hours. There's all kinds of different people out there, so you really got to have patience with this job and just know that hopefully it's getting into the hands of the home that it should be in. Alright, so then you've got to, now that you've got all of this awesome stuff, you've got to sift through it, throw out the trash, know where you're going to throw away your trash. I mean, it's just me and my boyfriend, so we hardly ever fill up our big city trash can, so we just throw most of the stuff away in there, and sometimes we might have to take it to the dump. Or you can just call the city up and leave it out in your front yard and they'll come pick it up if your city offers that. We've had to do that a few times, and I know here they'll pick them up 12 times a year. so it's technically once a month. But you can request it 12 times in 1 month. You're just expired as to how many. You can't get any more unless you pay. Anyways, then you have to have a safe place to store it so it does not get damaged by the weather. If you're buying certain things that can stay outside, then, like, we bought a unit with nothing but stored air conditioner units, like the AC units that are outside, the big ones. So those were safe to stay outside because that's their home. That's where they belong anyway. We still covered them up with tarps and everything, but just because we still wanted to preserve them, it's not like they were running or anything like that, and we don't want the blades to get bad or anything. So it just all depends on what you have, but you have to have a lot of space to store stuff. If you've got a store, a little thrift store, that's awesome. We are currently running out of our garage. We had a thrift store. We realized for us it wasn't what we wanted. We'd sell more things out of our house than we did have customers at the thrift store. So we use platforms like OfferUp and Let Go, and 5 Miles, and Facebook Marketplace, and Craigslist, and all of the other Facebook local yard sale groups that you can join. eBay is a great one. Etsy, however you say it, that's a good one. There's one called Cherish. That's a good one. Bonanza is okay. Shopify. You can sell your stuff however you want to do. And it all depends on if it's big, like a couch and a love seat, or if it's small, like a little plate. You know, I mean, it just all depends. We sell anything and everything. Alright, so that's pretty much what you need. You need storage space. Once you get it out of the storage, you need storage space because you don't want it to get weathered. We actually clean our stuff. We vacuum stuff. We deep clean all of the furniture because you don't want to pass on any furniture that's nasty to somebody. So we deep clean everything and we leave it in our garage and it stays nice and safe and clean. And we even, the day that the person comes for it, we're going to vacuum it again and make sure it's clean because that's just us. We want to make sure that, I mean, we're asking good money for our stuff because it's nice products typically that we keep to sell. And then you donate the rest because you don't want to see it go nowhere. I don't like throwing things away if they're good. So then you go to donate. And with that donation, it helps you out on your taxes. You need a business. You should get a business name for this as well, because that'll help with your write-offs and the money that you pay for your storage units, and then the money that you make, and your customers can pay you taxes, or you can, however you want to do it. Technically, you should be charging them taxes because you're going to be paying taxes on your income no matter what. And but there's options for storage. You can use your garage. You can use a room in your house if you've got extra space. You can, if you've got nice sized closets or something to where you can store some things. I know people that have done this. I would not want to do this because it's outside, but I know people that have actually just set up like tents. And because she lived in an apartment and she didn't know what else to do, but she wanted to do storage units, so she put up a tent. I guess she was on the first floor. I don't really know her whole story. But she said she kept things outside, covered up in tents and a tarp. Whatever floats your boat. And I don't know how she did that because Norfolk floods a lot. But anyways, I think we might have touched on everything that you need to know in order to start to think about purchasing a storage unit. On the next one, we'll talk about more places that you can find these storage units. And I'm going to do a screen share on that so that way you can see the different websites that you can find, whether they're live or online auctions. Alright, so to recap, what we just did was, what you're going to need to do is find the storage auctions, know the days and the times that they're going off, how many units there's going to be, because you don't want to show up to a place and it's canceled and everybody else is already at the other auction where it's really happening, and then you miss out on that one, and then you got to catch up at the following one after that. So, know how many storage units are for sale at each location that you're going the day of the storage auction. Know that you've got your time frame of 24 to 48 hours. Have your money and your deposits, $100 per storage unit for your deposit, which you will get back after you're done. If you don't clean it out, you don't get it back. You need to clean out these units, and not only will you not get your deposit back, you will also not be able to bid again in their auction for, like say you did public storage and you didn't clean it out of the way, you are forfeited from being able to ever purchase a storage unit within, I know, at least that district of the facility. So you wouldn't be able to go to any public storage in your area for an auction. You might get away with being able to go to another district, but that district could be states away. You never know. So know when we'll get it. Have your money. That's where we were at. Have your money and go clean out your storage unit. Always bring a broom and a dustpan and bring trash bags. You don't have to mop the unit, but it does need to be swept. So then you got to sweep it all up, and don't throw it away anywhere on their facility. I've only been to one place ever that said that we could use their dumpster, and we didn't need it because we were so used to not using their dumpsters. And you really don't want to throw anything away until you go through it. Like, you wouldn't believe, I found cash, not a lot, like $5, $10 in envelopes, like in cards and stuff like that, birthday cards. Some people just don't, they just leave it there. It's like a savings account or something. I've even found money in bill things where they, I guess, meant to send the bill. And I'll tell you, most of the people that I get storage units from are actually passed away. They are deceased. So, and the storage facility will usually tell you, like, the family just didn't want to do it. They usually tell you the circumstances if it's something special like that. You can always ask them. They're not scared to tell you. It's not a secret. I wouldn't get too many details, but it's nice to know a little bit of the history behind the stuff. So that's your first step to knowing the history of what you're buying, is asking the storage facility what's going on, because they usually know the people. It's usually one or two people that worked at the facility in the first place. So have your money, have your truck, have your trailer, have it ready to go, have your straps, have your tarp, have trash bags. And it's not just trash that you're throwing in these trash bags. You might have tons of clothes laying on the floor or something. You just never know what circumstances you're going to come through. So, trash bags, ropes if you want to tie stuff down, but we like the ratchets, the thick ratchet straps that you crank and lock into place. Not the thin ones. We use those sometimes, but the thick ones that are rated with heavy weight, that you would use for like transporting heavy machinery and whatnot. And have the time to clean it out, because that time starts as soon as the auction's over, typically. Once you get to know the facilities, they get to be a little bit more lenient with you and let you you just got to talk to them and communicate and see what your need is and if they can assist you with that need. And then have a place to store it. Get it home safely and have a place to store it, have a place to clean it. We like to pressure wash a lot of our things just to make sure that they're clean. If it's something that can be safely pressure washed, we always test out everything that's electronic or gas powered or whatever it may be. If it's supposed to work, we test it out. If it doesn't work, we'll let them know. So that's the basics of getting started for storage units. So I guess I'll see you next time. And next time we will talk about where to find your storage units. And maybe I'll show you some of the storage units that are ending live while we're on video. So we'll see how that works. Play it by ear. So let me take note of that. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching the video. I wish you the best of luck in your new storage unit adventure. And I'll see you soon on the next video that I will get recording very shortly. So thanks for your time. Y'all have a good day. Comment, like, subscribe. Trying to give away money like Publishers Clearinghouse. That is my goal. I don't have the money to give away right now. But all it takes, you don't have to pay me anything. Like and subscribe. That's all you need to do. So anyways, see you guys later. Peace out. Deuces. VA. Boom. Is that right for the screen? Hopefully. Who knows? See you guys later.